Moro is the Industrial Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Mr. Moro, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, sir.
What is the current status of transport fares? Has it been increased or not? Are you working on an increment? What exactly is the situation?
Well, we are still on a negotiating table. We went yesterday, last Wednesday. The meeting was inconclusive. It was postponed to coming Wednesday. That is tomorrow next. You see, the situation is so fragile that we will plead with all of you to get on board and make sure we will solve it nicely. Each time we feel we have to look for upward adjustment in lorry fares. I think operators, we make our calculations, we look for what and what tools that we are going to use to justify why we want to increase our lorry fares. And then the Transport Ministry is also there to defend the general public or our clients who are the passengers. So whatever we place before the Transport Ministry, they will also cross-check to make sure we are saying this has gone up. We are saying this is up by this percentage. So we have never met once, and we are able to conclude why we are there on that very day. Normally, we present our grievances. We will also have some time to check, and before, yes, whatever we presented are the true nature of why we are asking for the upward adjustment.
So who are the three parties in this negotiation? So
come again.
Who are the people, the groups that come together to agree on this transport fares?
Yes, a very good question. GPRTU, we are autonomous. You know, GPRTU, undisputedly, we are the leading private transport operators in the country. We operate all over the country, all the 16 regions, villages which has no names. We at times even name them. Then the GRTCC also represent the smaller ones. We could have a transport operating, who operates only in Accra. Even when we say Accra, not all lorry stations in Accra, but it could be only one station. For example, at La Paz. For example, at Tema Station or at Carnation. So such a person cannot compare itself to some unions or any other union which is all over the country, who knows all the problems around the country. So these smaller ones are being represented by the GRTCC, Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council. So when we meet, GPRTU is there and GRTCC is there, meaning all transport operators are there. This is what has been happening for ages until today. So this is how we go about it.
How binding is your decision? And when I say how binding, is it compulsory for your union members to abide by your decision?
Oh, this is a custom which is binding. Once upon a time, it is even only the GPRTU who stands in for all transport operators. Until recently, that we have sprinter unions. It wasn't like this. It was GPRTU and the government. So it's very, very binding.
Okay, now that the ministry is saying that people should not increase fares and that if they do, the police should be alerted to same, what does that mean? Does it mean that your members who increase fares should be arrested by the police? What's your understanding of the statement from the ministry? And is it a statement you support?
I don't consider it that way. I believe it is to pave way or the outstanding procedure that is almost broken down. This is my belief.
Explain that. I'm not really clear.
I don't say, you ask a question, and I say I don't say it that way. I believe it is to pave way for the existing procedure to prevail.
Okay, but are you aware of this statement from the ministry?
By chance, have you heard anybody has been arrested?
No, but I'm just looking at the communication in there that says if any driver...
You see, my brother, we must take at times the way things are. I am a professional driver. I speak for my people. That doesn't make me a perfect man. You see? But at least this is not the first time, and this will never be the last time that we will agitate on upward adjustment in lorry fares, because most of us have different view in calculating things. I will say 1 + 1 is 2. Somebody say 1 + 1.5. It's not 1, it's 1.5. But finally, we've been coming to conclusion. So this is not the first time such a thing has happened. It will never be the last time. But I believe as we've been ending, finally we all come to one conclusion and move forward.
I think you don't get my comment. I want to know whether you are in the know and whether or not you approve of the statement that was issued by the ministry.
I don't work, and we don't work at the transport ministry.
Did they consult you that they are going to issue?
My brother, listen to me. We earlier on brought our communique. That is what our general secretary signed. That we are pleading with our people. They should take it easy. We are still at the negotiating table, and that whenever we are through, we'll come out with it as normal as we've been doing all the time. I'm not at the transport ministry, so I cannot hold brief for them.
Okay, but the question is that when the publications say that arrest drivers who are charging unapproved fares or refer drivers who are charging unapproved fares to the police, and this is from the Ministry of Transport, you speak for drivers. What is your comment on that?
You see, journalists, I've been working with you for ages now. If you are looking for a particular answer to your question and you don't get, you try to twist the question in about 3-4 times, thinking you'll get the answer you are looking for. I've told you I don't work with the transport minister. I've told you when the issue cropped up, our leadership came up and said, we are pleading with our brothers. Let us take it easy. As normal, we normally go through certain things before coming out. So let us take it and go by those steps. So this is what came from our side.
Okay.
And we wake up today to hear what you are asking from the transport ministry. Yes, of course, it is their liberty to contribute to make sure there is sanity in the system. But we are still telling you that, yes, I believe this particular issue was brought up to make sure there is total sanity in the system. The whole of the day, I haven't heard anything. That's why I'm saying I strongly believe my people have called back to the old system to make sure the system, it paves way for the system.
Okay. If there's a driver of your union moving between Carnation to Odoko now who is listening to us and who wants to know specifically whether as union secretary, union industrial relations officer, you agree with the transport ministry's statement, what would you say to him?
Who have said that?
I'm using a hypothetical if to answer that question.
At times you create problem for people. Are you instigating my people against me? And where have I said that we, the leadership of the operators, have agreed to that?
No, I'm not saying you have. I haven't said
any of our people. You don't have to bring this public consumption, and we are talking to the whole nation as well. So you don't have to bring in this unless any of our leadership has, of course, contributed to that. And if not, do you think it is wise to bring in such a conversation? Why nobody has come out to support such a thing or say something?
It's a question. I want to hear what your specific position.
At times, my brother, at times, you stay by nearby house, you hear them quarreling. Nobody has thrown a blow. But if you go in to separate them and you are not careful, you will force one of them to throw his hand. And this question, you are not supposed to ask such a question.
So you won't answer as to whether GPRTU agrees with the decision or not.
I have worked with you for years. Journalists have worked with you for years because you wanted to hear something from us and you haven't heard that. You are forcing that into our mouth. Please, don't do that. Help us to make sure the situation is fragile. Help us to make sure we control this situation. Okay. We are Ghanaians.
No problem.
We will live here today, we will live here tomorrow. Until we are dead, we'll continue living tomorrow next.
Thank you for the prayers. When are we going to hear from you on what figures you've arrived at in terms of the fares?
God willing, we are meeting again on Wednesday. God willing.
So maybe we can get the answers by Wednesday. Thank you for speaking to us.
You are always welcome.
That's Abbas Imoro. He's the Industrial Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GP.